ran away from home. Hi, I'm Chelsea. Now you're probably wondering why I look like someone whose cat puked on her shoes. And you're absolutely right, because that happened a few minutes ago. But it's not even my cat, it's my brother's cat. And that's not the main reason why I have got this surely expression. It's all thanks to my family. They are absolute worst. Every day, I spend hours doing the laundry, washing the dishes, sweeping the halls, and making sure everyone and my brother's cat is well fed. Some days, I feel like the modern day Cinderella. Although, unlike her, I get to go to school, which is the only place where I feel at ease. Earlier this morning, I was in an unusually good mood. And at first, I thought today was gonna be an amazing day. Unfortunately, my day turned out to be much more worse than usual. First off, my mom asked me to do the laundry and wash the dishes before going to school. Next came my brother, who asked me to polish his shoes and bath his cat. I managed to complete all the chores in record time, leaving me with just one task, the most gruesome from all. But hey, don't get me wrong, I love animals, especially cats. But when you live with Ronald, who happens to be a devil incarnate in the form of a tabby cat, you have got to hate it. Bathing Ronald was the last thing on my to-do list, and I planned to get it done before heading to the only place where it was cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Unfortunately, Ronald decided to be a spoiled cat and returned the favor by puking on my only good pair of shoes. While trying to figure out which shoes to wear, I suddenly remembered that I have a history test this morning. And even though I had managed to finish my chores at a pace so fast that even Barry Allen would be proud of me, I might just end up not making it in time for the test. I hurriedly dried Ronald with a towel, earning me a few scratches in the process before rushing off to school in a pair of horrendously used, oversized sneakers. On getting to school, the first thing I noticed was that I had suddenly lost my invisibility cloak, and people were either staring, pointing fingers, whispering, or laughing at me. Ignoring them, I rushed off to my class, earning me some pointed stares from the class. Luckily for me, Mrs. Harrison had decided to bore off the entire class by using more than half of the first period to enlighten the class on how annoying it was to teach students that were more interested in staring at their blue screens than learning about world history. My grand entrance did not go unnoticed as the entire class burst into laughter due to my horrendous appearance. However, Mrs. Harrison quickly regained some peace and quiet by asking everyone to settle down and prepare for the test. The rest of the day was even more miserable as the entire school watched and laughed as the school's diva, Jade, strutted over to my table before emptying the entire content of our lunch tray on me. 1,000 emotions swept through me as I ran out of the cafeteria with tears and pasta dripping off my cheeks. While running, my entire life flashed before my eyes as I suddenly realized that my current situation was my family's fault. It's not for them. I wouldn't have gotten the feline scratches on the side of my neck or lived a totally miserable life with no friends. So I decided not to go back home. Unfortunately, I was struck with the dilemma of having no place to stay, especially since I didn't have even any friends. Luckily for me, there was a church right around the corner and I walked towards it with plans of staying there for the night. Upon entering the church, I met Father Paul, who warmly welcomed me and asked me why I was still in my uniform at that time of the night. If I was in the right state of mind, I would probably be asking him why he wasn't asking about my spaghetti-streaked hairline. But I eventually decided to tell him my entire ordeal while sobbing and cleaning my tears simultaneously. Father Paul encouraged me to go home and even escorted me to my parents' house where I accused them of maltreating me and not caring enough for me. My parents apologized for all their misdeeds and eventually revealed that I am not their biological daughter and I had been forced to live with them after my real parents died. Unknown to me, Mrs. Harrison had decided to do a little digging around because she was curious as to what kind of family history would allow a child to come to school looking like a werewolf. She arrived at that moment with the police in tow, who charged and arrested them for committing the crime of child abuse. They were also asked to hand over all their properties to me because it was my rightful inheritance from my biological parents. After paying for their crimes, my parents returned and apologized for their misdeeds before making a move to pack their loads and leave. But I asked them not to go and hugged them while telling them that I had forgiven them. As years passed by, we became a much closer and a tighter knit family. But I have learned one thing. It's how no situation is permanent and how there's always a light at the end of every dark tunnel. So don't give up, regardless of any situation you may be going through. Hey guys, it's Toon Ties Tales. Kindly click the like button if you enjoyed this video. And don't forget to click the subscribe button for more entertaining and inspiring content.